Yes, good evening, USA, International, Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man and homie, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, YouTuber, creator, host with the most, misunderstood, lonely nomad, unstoppable, independent podcaster, and Queens, New York native, who is also a New York Mets fan from the neck of the woods of Laurelton, Queens, New York. And yes, you're now rocking, listening, streaming, and watching the 81st episode of the Sports Edition show. Excellent, fun, vibrant talks podcast. Live and direct from StreamYard alongside with YouTube. Be sure to go ahead and grab that subscribe button for me on the Sports YouTube channel page. That way you'll be notified on new live stream video podcast recordings. Um, and of course, when new episodes going to be dropping, leave a like and a comment along with the sports episodes. Tell me how you feel about the sports topics in any of the episodes. In case you missed any of the episodes previously, don't worry, all of it is all posted to every streaming platforms, including YouTube. And I do apologize for the delay of of recording the sports episodes. Um, I wanted to actually wait on some concrete, accurate information because crazy ass, there's been some crazy ass rumors going on in the air, and of course, um, before I even start this, I hope y'all had a nice Thanksgiving, and I know you guys are looking forward to Christmas and stuff. So, and in the next episode, I will be reminding people about the Queens baseball convention that's going down on Saturday. Um, so stay tuned for that episode next time. Um, all right, so what do you say we go to? Hold on a second. Um, hang on 1 second here. All right, we're gonna go into. Hang on 1 second here. All right, we got some rumor alerts in the air that we need to get to right here, and one of them is involving a rumor about Cody Bellinger. All right, all right, here we go. Let's get into it. So, here's what's going on here. First and foremost, I've been hearing that name um lately, and 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 this is from Sports Illustrated. So, the Chicago Cubs are going to spend all offseason trying to trade one of their star players, and it doesn't look like it would take much for another team to get him, excuse me, out of town. Cody Bellinger threw the Cubs plans for a loop after he decided to pick up his $27.5 million player option for the coming campaign. Okay. Let's see where this is going actually. Hold on. Um, hold on 1 second. This is where I was. All right. Cody Bellinger threw. Yeah, I already got that part. So most people expected the slugger to opt out and hit free agency, allowing the two sides to part ways easily. Now Chicago will try to get someone else to foot the bill and pick up some players in the meantime. Zach Presnell of Fansided came up with an intriguing idea that would see the Cubs send Bellinger and some cash to the New York Mets in exchange for prospects Blade Tidwell and Marco Vargas. That's not going to happen. It isn't that Bellinger is awful. He's just not the player that Chicago needs out of a contract of that size. He's coming off a year in which he posted just a 266, 325, 426 slash line with 18 home runs and 78 RBIs. He also has missed 30 plus games in each of the last two seasons since joining the team. The Cubs would rather pay that money to another player who will be more reliable, both at the plate and just being able to suit up. The former MVP has certainly helped himself out since his awful play over the last few years with the Los Angeles Dodgers, but it clearly hasn't been enough that he wants to test free agency again. A deal like this would be a win-win. The Mets get a good player for a lessened contract, and the Cubs get two intriguing prospects, one that could contribute next season. Tidwell is a near MLB ready pitching prospect who has a mid 90s fastball and a breaking ball mix. Right now, New York is trying to figure out if he is going to be a innings an inning eater starter for the back end of a rotation or someone who could come out of the bullpen. Chicago could use either. They will need to cut down on his walks first, though. Vargas is an infield prospect known for his bat, but that took a step back last year. He has a career 273, 412, 374 slash line. He doesn't strike out much and has some base running potential. It'll be a few years before he can jump to the majors, but he has a profile that could actually be perfectly timed for the current Cubs roster construction. All right. Also another rumors and stuff. Man. Also another rumors. Let's see. Let's see another room alert. Let's see. Yeah, another trade rumor is Randy Arozarena, which is crazy. The Rays have acquired right-hander Ty Cummings from the Mariners as the player to be named later in the July trade that sent outfielder Randy Arozarena to Seattle. He's not com- he's not coming to the Mets, folks. Per announcements from both clubs, the righty wasn't on Seattle's 40-man roster and won't need to be added to Tampa's. Um, The Mariners were leading the American League West for much of the first half of 2024, but were fading in the summer as their offense disappeared. They attempted to revive their lineup at the deadline by acquiring Justin Turner from the Blue Jays and a Rosarena from the Rays. In the deal with Tampa, the M's parted with prospects Aiden Smith, Brody Hopkins, and a player to be named later, who has now been revealed as Cummings. Both Turner and Rosarena hit well for the M's, but the club still fell shy of the postseason. they still have a chance to recoup some value on the Arozarena deal going forward as seasons. He made 8.1 um $8.1 million. Eight no, excuse me, 8.1 multi-million dollars in 2024 and will be due two more raises in the forthcoming campaigns. Um and this is according to MLB trade rumor um contributor Matt Schwartz, excuse me. Projects him for a salary of 11.7 um 11.7 multi-million dollars in 2025. Hmm. All right. Let's keep going. Um all right. Cummings, um age 23, next month was selected by the Mariners in the seventh round of the 2023 draft, taken out of Campbell University in Buies Creek, North Carolina. He signed for a 220 225K bonus. Um, yeah, he made his professional debut this year, making 25 starts for High A Everett in his 116 2/3 innings for the Aqua Sox. He allowed 4.17 earned runs per nine. Hmm. Um. Hold on. He struck out 24.7% of batters faced, walked 9.2% of them, and got opponents to hit the ball on the ground at a 50.3% clip. Back in July, Eric Eric Longenhagen of Fangraphs published his list of the top 34 prospects in the Mariners system. Cummings wasn't one of those 34, but got an honorable mention as Longenhagen described him as a potential Death Starter. All right, let's see. I know everybody's been talking about the ones Soto sweepstakes. Um I want to get to that in a second, actually. I'll get to that in a second. Let's see. Let's see. Let me see. Yeah. Um, let's get to let's get to all right, Luis Garcia, another rumor in the air. So let's get to it right here. So Astros starter Luis Garcia will not pitch in the majors this season. Manager Joe Espada told the team's beat um excellent via the athletic Chandler Rome. Garcia has hit a few snags in his buildup from last May's Tommy John procedure. The righty will resume throwing this weekend, but is no longer pursuing a 2024 comeback. He'll turn his attention fully to getting ready for next spring. Garcia set out on a rehab assignment in late June, which is right in line with the standard 13 to 14-month recovery from Tommy John surgery. The stint did not go as planned. Houston pulled him off the assignment around the All-Star break after he had a tough time bouncing back between outings. The Astros plan to send Garcia back out shortly after the deadline, but he reported more soreness coming out of bullpen session and was shut back down. Neither setback seems indicative of a long-term concern. They've been enough to keep Garcia from logging the necessary workload to get himself into MLB game shape before year's end, though. Early in the year, GM Dana Brown had pointed to Garcia and Lance McCullers Jr. as potential late season returnees to strengthen the rotation depth. Neither player will make a big league appearance in 2024. McCullers also battled lingering arm soreness and is expected to miss the entire season. Shit. Damn. Damn, that's gotta suck. Those injuries, paired with this year's season-ending arm procedures for Christian Avia and Jose um, Urquidy, made it necessary for Brown and his staff to add a starter at the deadline. They did so by sending a 3-player package headlined by Jake Bloss to the Blue Jays for UC Kikuchi. It was a hefty price, but Kikuchi has had a fantastic start to his Houston tenure. The hard throwing southpaw has allowed only 5 runs in 16 to 2/3 innings across the 3 appearances. He has fanned 24 of 66 opponents while generating swinging strikes at a massive 15.3 clip. Kikuchi isn't the only midseason reinforcement. The Astros have been without Justin Verlander since the middle of June because of neck discomfort. Aspis, hold on, hold on. Espada told the beat that Verlander will take the ball on Wednesday um, against the Red Sox. The future Hall of Famer. Hold on. Yeah, future Hall of Famer tossed 4 innings and logged 57 pitches in a rehab start at Double A um, Corpus Christi last Thursday. The Astros evidently don't feel he'd benefit from one more minor league start and will give him his next appearance at Minute Maid Park. Houston has pushed their lead on the Mariners in the AL West to 4 games. If they lock down a player berth, Verlander would join Kikuchi, Framber, Valdez, Hunter Brown, and potentially Ronel Blanco in the mix for postseason starts. Verlander will come up well short of 140 innings this season, meaning he will not unlock a 35 multi-million multi-million dollar player option. Um, he'll be a free agent after he'll be a free agent this season, as will Kikuchi. Garcia remains under arbitration control through 2026. Since he didn't pitch this season, he'll likely match this year's 1.875 multi-million dollar salary. Valdez and Urquidy are eligible for arbitration as well. Brown and Blanco are still in their pre-arbitration seasons, while Javier will make 10 multi-million dollars next year and is under contract through 2027. All right. Let's see. Let's see what else we have to talk about here. Yes. All right, let's talk the Juan Soto sweepstakes that everybody's been talking about here. Now these are just now these are just now these are just your average rumors and stuff, but um let's get into it right here. Let's see. So starting with Juan Soto, actually, so there's been a lot of crazy stories that's been going on, and and this is from Yahoo Sports. So, um, at some point in the next month or two, Juan Soto is going to sign a piece of paper and become an obscenely rich man. It's unclear However, if that new wealth will be record breaking, Shohei Otani currently has the largest contract in sports history with the 10-year, $700 million contract he signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers a year ago. Oof. Um, that deal didn't just break Mike Trout's record for baseball money; it surpassed it by 9 figures. An entire Nolan Arenado contract could fit in the distance between the money and in Otani's deal and Trout's $426 million. Jeez, Louise. Soto was long earmarked to land the next mega deal when the star outfielder hit free agency this offseason. But Otani's deal now looms over the negotiations. Will Soto be able to come close to the deal that made the baseball world gasp, or will Otani's deal remain an outlier? Here's what you should know about what here here's what you should know about what Soto has going for him and why his case is different than Otani's. Both players are elite players, and that is a pretty much where the similarities end. Age is just a number. That's that shit is true. But it's a very important number here. It might be a bit of a surprise considering that Soto and Otani both made their MLB debuts in 2018. But the 26-year-old Soto is more than 3 years younger than Otani was at the time of his free agency. Otani found stardom in Japan, then came to MLB at the age of 23, while Soto shot up through the Washington Nationals minor league system as a teenager. That 3 year gap is significant because those are 3 more years of prime Soto that a bidder will be getting if they land him. We won't pretend like Soto can match Otani's $70 million average annual value. Instead, let's look at the second largest average annual value a player has received. Aaron Judge's $40 million, which is $300 million over 9 years. It's been a couple of years since Judge signed that deal. So let's add $5 million and say Soto could receive $45 million per year. This is just speculation here. Um, Nothing official yet. Um, I'm just here to debunk those rumors, man. You know what I'm saying? So, um, let's consider that Judge is signed through his age 39 season. We we could look we could also look at Soto's similarity score on Baseball Reference and see that the most similar batter through his age 25 season, who has already played a full career, is Hall of Famer Frank Robertson. By OPS plus, Robertson remained an above average hitter until he retired at age 40. We are doing some of the napkin math, back of the napkin math for a very complicated process, but paying Soto $45 million until his age 40 season gives you a 15-year, $675 million contract. Throw in another year, and he's past Otani. That would be the longest contract in MLB history, surpassing Fernando Tatis Jr.'s 14-year, $340 million deal. But that's what becomes possible when you hit free agency at Soto's age. Um, Try to imagine selling Scott Boras on deferrals. The problem with comparisons to Otani's contract is that the $700 million is something of a lie. Yes, when Otani's paychecks from this contract are all added up, they will total $700 million. However, as most fans know, Otani isn't getting that $700 million the normal way. He famously deferred $680 million until after the contract is up. Because of inflation, that means Otani won't be getting $700 million in value as we currently understand it. MLB treats the deal like a 10-year, $460 million contract, which sounds positively reasonable when compared to Trout's previous record. Here's the thing, though. Otani wanted those deferrals. He brought it to the table with the Dodgers, who eagerly accepted because every business in the world would gladly defer the wages of its highest earning employee by a decade if allowed to. Now let's remember that Soto remains the services of Scott Boras, the guy you hire when you want the number on your contract to be as large as possible. Odds are Soto and Boris are not interested in replicating Otani's generosity. And that means teams aren't going to get the bargain Otani gave the Dodgers. A bidding war between New York teams is a good place to be. Forget who did and didn't make the World Series. The biggest winner of the trade that sent Soto from the San Diego Padres to the New York Yankees might have been Soto. By joining the Yankees a year before his free agency, because he became something the Yankees could lose. Much much was made about how the Yankees had a year to sell Soto on what he could accomplish in the Bronx, but the opposite is true too. Soto helped slug the Yankees to the World Series in the first year in pinstripes, and now the team is facing the possibility of trying to get there again without him. Fans wouldn't like that, especially considering who else is in the running. The three other teams who have meetings with Soto this week are two of the Yankees' division rivals, the Boston Red Sox. That's also a rumor, and Toronto Blue Jays also a rumor too, and their crosstown rivals, the New York Mets. The Mets are the most intriguing option because A, they have Steve Cohen, the richest owner in baseball, and B, Cohen has made very clear he doesn't care about his team being profitable if it wins. The baseball world knew for years that if the Yankees really wanted a free agent, they were getting that free agent. The Mets have a chance to loudly declare that is no longer true. The best possible outcome for Soto's bank account is for emotions to come into play while Cohen and the Steinbrenner family are making bids. And that seems to be where the situation is trending. Um, Otani didn't just because he was good at baseball. Signing Juan Soto will get you a great baseball player. Signing Shohei Otani got the Dodgers an international icon as well as a great baseball player. Maybe there's a more delicate way of saying this, but Otani's fame is different than Soto's. Soto could be the second coming of Ted Williams. I don't understand that comparison, but forgive me. That that's the strangest fucking combination I ever heard. Oh shit. But Otani is the national hero of the third wealthiest country in the world. Every single company in Japan would love to be associated with Otani, and that's why the Dodgers business side reportedly didn't bat an eye when they were told of a potential $700 million expense. Through sponsorships and advertisements, the Dodgers have already made tens of millions of dollars by employing Otani, or even $120 million if you believe AJ Brzezinski. That money Otani brings in before he swings a bat, to say nothing of the financial boost the Dodgers got from winning the World Series. Soto doesn't come with that built-in revenue stream. He will certainly help your team win and attract fans, but it's hard to overstate just how big a gap in international fame exists between Otani and the rest of the world's baseball players. Soto is one of the most consistently healthy players in baseball. The easiest way for a contract to go south is for that player to become injury prone. It's more common with pitchers, but we've also seen it with the likes of Ken Griffey Jr. and Mark Teixeira. If Soto's career up to now is any indication, teams probably don't have much to worry about in that regard. Since making his first opening day roster in 2019, Soto hasn't missed more than 13 games in the season. He's also a guy who doesn't rely on tools that could degrade with age. His best tool, plate discipline, is known to age well. Meanwhile, the Dodgers are hoping that Otani's second UCL surgery goes well. Otherwise, they lose what made him the greatest two-way player the game has ever seen. But on the other hand, Otani does more things well than Soto. If you are going to bet on a guy to be great into his late 30s, it stands to reason that you should bet on the guy who does more things well than any other player in baseball. That guy is Otani. Even if Otani is no longer the pitcher he once was, the Dodgers reportedly wanted him more for his bat anyway. Then he went ahead and became of the best base runners in baseball, posting the first 50-50 season in MLB history. And let's not forget that Otani occasionally played in the outfield in Japan with his speed and arm strength. It's conceivable that he could become a good outfielder again if pitching is no longer an option. He wouldn't be the first Dodger superstar to make a make a position change for the good of the team. We don't know what Atani's game will look like when he's 39, but it will probably still be valuable. Meanwhile, Soto's value is entirely dependent on his bat. He isn't a good base runner and he isn't a good fielder, which I previously said an episode or two ago, actually. Um, um, The contract number that Soto ends up posting will be significant for the rest of MLB. It's hard not to see Otani's contract as the ceiling of all possible deals for the foreseeable future, much like A Rod's then earth-shattering $252 million pact with the Texas Rangers in 2001, but Soto can beat back that narrative this winter. At the very least, Soto appears poised to top Otani when it comes to actual contract value, but that could be due to Otani's choices as much as Soto's value. Hmm. All right, we got some more about Juan Soto to talk about too as well. Hold on a second. All right, so of course, obviously, the Juan Soto sweepstakes continues. Um, and this is from Sports Illustrated. Free agent slugger Juan Soto. Juan Soto's market is heating up quickly, expected, with the star slugger the prize of the market this offseason. According to ESPN's Jeff Passan, Soto is set to begin the prospective teams this week in California. The Toronto Blue Jays will get the first meeting with Soto, followed by the Boston Red Sox. After that, the two prohibitive favorites, the New York Mets and um, New York Yankees, will get a chance for Soto to hear their pitch. The Yankees would certainly love to have him back impacting the middle of their batting order. The 26-year-old Soto hit 288 this season for the Bronx Bombers with 41 home runs and 109 RBI in 576 at bats. Soto is also in historic company as he enters his prime. As Passons noted, Soto is eighth all time in OPS among players with 3,000 or more plate appearances through their age 25 season. His OPS of 160 trails only Ty Cobb, Mickey Mantle, Mike Trout, Jimmy Fox, Albert Pujols, Trish Speaker, and Rogers Hornsby. That is certainly good Hall of Fame company to be in. Soto will likely command the longest contract in MLB history due to his age and talent. Fernando Tatis Jr. of the San Diego Padres currently holds the record for contract length with his 14-year, $340 million contract. Soto's deal could break the record for contract length and is expected to exceed $600 million in guaranteed money. We have to wait and see. Yeah, we gotta wait and see on that actually. And hold on a second. Hold on a second though. So the New York Mets will do everything necessary to sign superstar slugger Juan Soto in free agency. Executive Carlos, Carlos Beltran recently told Joseph Rebolles of Primera Hora, a Puerto Rican newspaper, at a charity pickleball event. The Mets want to improve the team, and there is no doubt that they will go after all the players that are on the open market, knowing that the piece that everyone wants is Juan Soto, Beltran said. And the Mets do not rule out going full blast after him. The Mets, fresh off of a run to the National League Championship Series and backed by the financial might of professional baseball's richest owner, Steve Cohen, have as good a chance as any team to pry the Dominican slugger away from the crosstown rival New York Yankees, seen as a tentative favorite to win the Soto sweepstakes. And Beltran, who joined the Mets front office in February of 2023, stressed that Cohen's willingness to express his desire to win is not just an act. The Mets owner is one of the wealthiest in the game and wants to win, Beltran said. When he tells the press that he wants to win, he doesn't say it to rile up fans. It's personal for him, and I got to see that being with the team this year. Um, Soto, who turned 26 in October, is coming off a career year that saw him post a 288, 419, 569 slash line with 41 home runs, 109 RBI, 128 runs scored, and 129 walks in 157 games played. Soto was named a finalist for a Gold Glove and on Tuesday night took home his fifth career Silver Slugger award. The market for Soto, which includes the Yankees, Mets, Toronto Blue Jays, and Boston Red Sox, among others, is expected to push the star slugger's contract numbers into the stratosphere. Pundits project Soto to earn a contract in the $600 million range. But hard driving agent Scott Boras could push for a deal that rivals the record breaking 10-year, $700 million contract Shohei Otani signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers last winter. No matter the price, it seems the Mets are willing. Excuse me, the Mets are pulling out all the stops. Cohen is slated to fly to Southern California to meet with Soto this week. Mets star shortstop Francisco Lindor, who, by the way, was spotted by TMZ as I saw on TV actually. So who has reportedly been recruiting Soto, touched down in Los Angeles on Sunday evening and appears slated to join Cohen's meeting with Soto. Beltran wouldn't confirm as much, but did say Soto will now have the opportunity to at least listen to Lindor after playing with Yankees center fielder and designated hitter Aaron Judge. Boris told reporters at the general manager's meetings that Soto will take his time in free agency before making a decision. Um, let's see. Um, Another rumor in the air that we gotta talk about is there's no way. Listen, Philadelphia Phillies, man. Jeez. It's been speculated that the Philadelphia Phillies would have interest in Juan Soto this offseason, but after their owner, Middleton, stated he felt like the superstar slugger preferred to continue his career in New York, there were questions about if they would pursue him. Soto is the exact player the Phillies should be going after for this winter, adding an elite talent to their outfield who gets on base at a high clip and doesn't strike out. Inserting him into this lineup for the next decade alongside Bryce Harper and Trey Turner would keep their championship window open for a long time, while also allowing them to chase a World Series these next few years with how this roster is currently constructed. Well, according to John Heyman of the New York Post, Philadelphia is planning on meeting with the Phenom, even though nothing is officially scheduled yet. Um, let's see. Where did I see the part where he turns down the Yankees? There we go. There we go. Um, all right, so Juan Soto has rejected the Yankees 1 year qualifying offer. This is the least surprising news of the offseason, as Soto is easily the most prized free agent available, and expectations are that he'll be landing a record setting long term deal wherever he ends up signing. The 26-year-old superstar certainly has put himself in a tremendous spot following his um, monster contract year, in which he posted a high 41 homers, 109 RBIs, and a 989 OPS while leading the Yanks to the World Series. So's free agency sweepstakes is already well underway, as he and agent Scott Boras have held meetings with the Mets, Yankees, Red Sox, Blue Jays over the past couple of days, and has a meeting set up with the Dodgers, the Giants, Phillies, and Rays. Could also potentially end up having meetings with Soto, according to Mark Feinsand of MLB.com. Um, it's unknown how long this process would drag out, but SNY MLB insider Andy Martino recently reported that we could see a decision around the winter meetings, which kick off on December 9th in Dallas. That's a Monday. That's a Monday. Hold on. That's a Monday coming up. Yeah. And you know what though? I'm going to be doing some recaps. I am going to do some recaps of what went down on those dates. Those dates that just jot down. This was from last month. Um, Most recently, it was about November 19th. Um, qualifying off qualifying offer player decision. Um, Owners meetings, um, most recently non-tendered deadline, draft picks assigned, um, and winter meetings, which starts on Sunday through the 11th, and also rules draft as well starts on December 11th, which is a key reminder actually. So I am going to make sure to recap those stories according to those dates, and 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 of course, yeah, there's a couple of things that I want to actually say. There's a couple of things that I want to say um before I move on to all this though, before I move on to Pete Alonso and stuff, and of course, the recent player that the Mets was interested in. So, what I find interesting from from some of the Mets fans, not all, but there are some, there are some, there's some reporters in sports that are actually, sometimes they're right and sometimes they're wrong. But in the case of Juan Soto, right, it is very unlikely. It is very unlikely. Well, it's crazy to say that there's been like speculation, and of course, in regards to Juan Soto getting $700 million, which is a crazy ass amount of money, by the way, folks. And you know, and the New York Mets is actually all in on Juan Soto, but here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. We don't know. We don't know what's going on be- behind the scenes of the decisions and stuff. We don't know what's going on here. And on top of that, I think I think we have to play this shit out, though. We have to play this shit out because you know until until it's official, as far as like the as far as like his decision, then all these things that I just meant that I just mentioned from the topics in this episode, they're they're pure speculations. All right. Rumors, there's a difference between rumors and reporting. Rumors is just made up stories. Reporting is about factual information. That's the difference. That's the difference. And the thing that struck me, the thing that struck me was the word imminent. The word imminent, as Wardy was talking about on his YouTube channel page. And I'm like, let me take the time to look up what that is actually in baseball terms. So I could break it down for you folks at home that's actually New York Mets fans and stuff. Now, imminent. Imminent. Okay. What does imminent mean? All right. So, for those of you who may not know, for those of you who may not know, um, let me see. Imminent. I'm trying to look for the right definition. So imminent basically means is ready to take place, happening soon, often used of something. Oh no, no, that's not it. Yeah, coming or likely to happen very soon, or coming or likely to happen very soon. So it's just well, yeah, in baseball terms. Let's see. Let's see. In baseball terms, let's see. Yeah, what this so yeah, that's pretty much what imminent means. So it's basically it's 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 happening real soon. By the time we reach the winter meetings, he'll be able to make a decision, not just what's best for him, but what's best for his family. And this is where um this is where we get into this next guy, Pete Alonso. But before I get to that though, man, I want to make one thing clear actually. I want to make one thing clear. All right? If you haven't heard from sports reporters including people like John Heyman, Will Salmon, Jeff Passan, or any other sports reporters that you believe in the most that have factual information whatsoever, instead of these tedious fucking rumors and whatnot, though, man, then those rumors right here are considered to be debunked. Because when it comes to rumors, you don't want to fucking believe the hype. You don't want to believe the hype, man. When I think of rumors, I think of false hope. You know what I'm saying? And once you give that false hope out there, it feels like you're being misled. That's why I wanted to actually take the time to actually explain what imminent meant. Because when I was watching Wardy's YouTube video, shouts to him for putting in the work alongside with other New York Mets fans, including podcasters, Not to mention John Sapanaro and Ibby, Anthony Rivera. Shouts to him from Subway to Shea. Be sure to check him out on his YouTube channel page and audio episodes whatsoever. Be sure to subscribe to those YouTube channel pages and all great stuff. I will mention those YouTube sports channel pages at the end of this recording. So don't worry about that. Um but like I said, man, if you don't hear from any of those reporters that I just mentioned their names and stuff, consider them debunked. First of all, what is this shit about Pete Alonso going to a different team? What is it? A different team? Like the hold on a minute, man. Let's take a look at this, man. So, okay, rumor of Pete Alonso going to a different team. Hang on a second. I've been seeing this lately, man. This is so fucking crazy to me. So, wait a minute here. Wait a minute here, just a minute. Nah, man. Wait a minute here. Wait just a minute. So, hang on 1 second. I did see this actually. Trying to figure out something though. All right, so here's a rumor, man. This is one of those crazy ass rumors and stuff that I'm like, wait a minute here. This is one of those rumors. Okay, so the Houston Astros are in desperate need of an upgrade at first base. The rapid decline of Jose Abreu was certainly not something they were expecting when they signed him ahead of the 2023 campaign. He was eventually released because of disastrous production and was replaced by John Singleton. While Singleton's numbers were better than Abreu's, his output was still below league average in many aspects. As a result, the team is in the market for an upgrade at the corner. How big of a splash they will make will be determined by how the rest of their off season goes. The first out, the first order of business for the franchise is figuring things out rather with Alex Bregman. Not going to happen. Their star third baseman is a free agent, and if he departs, the hot corner becomes a massive void in need of filling. There's been a speculation about Alex Bregman going to the Mets. That's not going to happen, folks. Their star third baseman is a free agent, and how things develop with him will determine their next steps. As the Astros are willing to spend similar to how they did this past season, but aren't expected to exceed that. That could mean they won't be in the running for players at the top of the market. One first baseman who is looking to land a lucrative multi-year deal is Pete Alonso of the New York Mets. One of the better power hitters in baseball, he would certainly be an upgrade for Houston given their lack of production at the position, but his contract demands are likely too high for what the franchise will be looking to spend. That isn't the case for one of their AL West rivals, the Seattle Mariners. That's not going to happen. In desperate need of some offensive punch, the Mariners are a great fit for the slugging first baseman, and that is exactly where Andy McCullough of the Athletic is predicting Alonso will end up. Perhaps more than any other player, Alonso is waiting to see where Juan Soto lands. The Mets harbor interest in bringing back Alonso, a homegrown star. The team has a backup plan, though, in the form of infielder Mark Vientos. I don't think Mark Vientos should switch from third base to first base, man. He was improving at third base this year thanks to the help of Francisco Lindor, aka Linsanity. That's funny too, man. Yeah. Yeah, but he did work on a few things though, man, while playing third base though. I'm not gonna hold you, man. I'm not gonna hold you. Mark Vientos is like the most phenomenal player that I ever seen that I ever seen play with the New York Mets though, man. He didn't give up on himself, man. All he did was bet on his fucking self. That's what he did. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say about Mark Vientos, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Let's see. Let's see. And the Mariners are so desperate for offense, especially from the infield corners, that the front office could ignore Alonso's lack of on base skills and pay a premium for his power. Look, Pete Alonso, Pete Alonso, some of the Mets fans may think that he's not a great first baseman, but did he did make some plays by scooping the ball into the glove and prevented any errors and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I want to point out something. I want to point out something before I continue this shit though. Some Met fans are mentioning Christian Walker. He's fucking 34 years old, man. Are you nuts? Has any of y'all ever had to learn their lesson from the Verlander shit and the Max Scherzer shit, man? Like, come on, son. Come on, son. There's no way in the fucking hell that you would actually not consider bringing Pete Alonso back though, man. Cause look, you gotta understand something too, man. He broke records. He broke some records as far as home runs and all that other stuff and RBIs, despite despite the down year he had. Despite the down year he had, though, man. But at the same token, are we going to are we going to define Pete Alonso based on his numbers? Like, think about it though, son. Like, seriously, you can't really define a player by the numbers as far as like the OPSs and all that other stuff. So to me, look, he's a human being at the end of the day. He's a human being at the end of the day, man. So that's just my take on that shit though, man. Let's see. Let's see. Alonso has some shortcomings as a player since he doesn't offer much with the glove in addition to the worries McCullough mentioned, but the best attribute he brings is one the Mariners need the most. This addition would certainly be something the Astros don't want to see. Um, a big reason they were able to overcome their early season double-digit deficit in the division race was because Seattle's offense went ice cold. Adding a hitter of Alonso's caliber would certainly make those cold spells occur less frequently. As I said before, and I'm going to say this again, man. Until Pete Alonso makes a decision, this rumor is debunked. Man, we gotta stop with the favoritism when it comes to Mets players. Um, speaking of which, man. Let's see. Um, let's see. Let's see. I want to make sure I don't miss out on anything. And you know what? I don't think Juan Soto signing will actually affect Pete Alonso's future as a New York Met. I doubt it though, man. But we have to play this shit out. We have to play this shit out because and like I said, man, don't believe the hype from fake reporters, man. Do not believe the hype because these are fucking idiots who don't have the factual information from their sources. You know what I'm saying? So don't believe the hype. All right. So it's also another Pete Alonso thing, man. Hold up a second. Let's see. So another report about Pete Alonso has to do. This is getting nuttier, man. Pete Alonso, according to Newsweek, is undoubtedly among the top power hitters on the offseason free market. The longtime New York Mets first baseman has slashed 229, 324, 480 over the past two seasons, hitting 80 home runs in that span. Many teams could use that kind of production from the middle of their lineup. The only question is how much are executives willing to pay? The trade rumors recently projected Alonso to sign a 5-year, $125 million contract. Joe Sherman of the New York Post reported that the Mets offered Alonso a 7-year, 158 contract extension last year. Allegedly, um, last year, one that would cover his final season of arbitration eligibility. There's 6 more years. The Mets could certainly afford to re-sign Alonso still. John Heyman of the New York Post recently reported the New York Yankees have checked in on Alonso. Not gonna. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know. Alonso makes sense for both New York teams, if not as a fallback option in case they don't snare Juan Soto. Then as a primary target for the middle of their lineup. One team seldom linked to any high-profile free agents this offseason is the Washington Nationals. Get the fuck out of here. The Nats missed the playoffs of the fifth straight season in 2024, going 71-91 en route to a fourth place finish in the National League East. It was at least a surprise to see Alonso linked to the Nationals in ESPN's annual postseason survey of Major League executives released Tuesday. Nearly half of our voters do expect Alonso to sign elsewhere, though one predicted he would still call the National League East home, writes Jesse Rogers. In quote, he signs with Washington as a vibes power guy, similar to they signed Jason Worth before 2011, before their team was fully formed. An anonymous survey responded to Rogers. Alonso hit a wild card series, clinching three home run in Milwaukee to lift the Mets into the National League Division Series. While those vibes would translate more directly to the Mets fan base that cheered him on, perhaps the Nationals or another rebuilding club would make an exception in their budget for a player with quality postseason experience to help lead a young team back to baseball's promised land. The obvious trade-off lies with Alonso's defensive versatility. He's never played a defensive position other than first base, although he has made 4 All-Star teams at the position. Alonso, who turns 30 in December, is a career 249, 339, 514 hitter with 226 home runs and 586 RBIs in 6 seasons from 2019 to 24 with the Mets. He hit a career high 53 home runs, a rookie record, en route to capturing the NL Rookie of the Year award in 2019. Look, man, we got to play this shit out, man. You know what I mean? We have to play this shit out, though, man. And we have to play this shit out until you hear it from Pete Alonso's mouth and other sports reporters about the decision that he's going to make, just like Juan Soto is doing. I like to consider this rumor right here to be debunked. Here we go. All right. Let's see. Oh, so the Mets, by the way, actually signed a pitcher. They signed a pitcher. So that'll be the last topic of the recording. So they signed, hang on a second. They signed a player actually. So let's get into one quick side bleacher bar. All right. So that'll be the particular topic to actually save. All right. So let's get into it here. All right. According to the folks from Yardbarker, the New York Mets have added a new pitcher to their ranks on the first day of the 2024 MLB offseason. Mets Inc. veteran right-handed pitcher Dylan Covey to 1-year deal. The Mets announced on their official X account on Thursday afternoon that they've signed righty Dylan Covey to a 1-year deal. Covey has 5 years of major league experience under his belt, having made his debut in 2017 with the Chicago White Sox, which, by the way, lost over 100 games. Oh, man. Oh shit, that's funny. Yeah. Covey began the first three years of his MLB career as a starter before moving to the bullpen in 2020 with the Boston Red Sox. Covey has mixed bag of experience as a starter reliever. In 46 games as a starter for his career, the 33-year-old owns a 5-27 record, 6.94 ERA, and 154 strikeouts. Comparatively, across 54 games as a bullpen weapon, Covey sports a 2-5 record with a 4.33 ERA and 60 strikeouts. He is coming off a career year in 2023 where he earned a 3.77 ERA and retired 30 batters across 43 innings pitched. Thus, the Mets will bring the veteran talent onto their roster as they attempt to fine tune a unit that went as far as the National League Championship Series in 2024 before losing to the eventual champion Los Angeles Dodgers, which I hate. I hate the Dodgers. In 6 games, he'll be a pitcher to watch should New York lose key starters or relievers in free agency. All right. I think that covers every single thing. Um, in the next episode, upcoming episodes, I may cover some more of the process of what's going on with the Juan Soto sweepstakes. I'm pretty sure this shit is going to get dragged to the winter meetings. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? So, let's see. We are going to let me see if there's anything. Yeah, we're gonna wrap up here, man. All right, let's wrap up here. Hold on a second here. All right, we're gonna wrap up here with this last segment of the night, which is stream choices on the go. All right, this is where I inform you where you can follow the podcast and where you can listen, stream, and watch new episodes. All right. Make sure you follow Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast on Threads, alongside with my other podcast shows that I do, which is my entertainment review show, Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast. My number one comedy, Off the Meat Rack Chains New York Avenue podcast, which by the way just received a 2024 Spotify Wrapped. And of course you can also follow on Instagram as well. The username on Threads is the same as it is on Instagram. So G Money Stacks 555 is 555 in Queens, New York is also on Threads and Instagram as well. So be sure to actually follow that. And like I said previously, I am going to try my best to get myself a new Android tablet. I don't know when I'm going to get it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens though. So yeah. Now, if you go to the link in bio, you're gonna see a whole list of order stream platforms where you can actually listen and stream podcast episodes. And I want to start off with Audible, Odyssey, Amazon Music, Breaker, Bullhorn FM, Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Overhaul FM Podcast, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podfriend, Podhound, Podopolo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Podcast Guru, um, Podvine, Snip, Spotify, and of course, Spotify for Creators, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Fountain. Radio Public, iHeartRadio, the number one app where you can listen to music, radio stations, and podcast episodes for free. You don't need a credit card or debit card to download iHeartRadio. All you need to do is go ahead and follow and subscribe on iHeartRadio and along streaming platforms that I just mentioned. And of course, do the same with YouTube. Make sure you grab that subscribe button for me on the sports YouTube channel page. And of course, leave a like and a comment on the sports topics in this episode. Tell me how you feel about the Juan Soto sweepstakes that's going on right now. And along with the Pete Alonso situation rumors that we just talked about here, and the new signed pitcher Dylan Covey. All right. Go to the comment section on YouTube and tell me how you feel about it. Actually, I'm gonna put a question in regards to that on the community tab when I get a chance. And and look, be sure to also listen, stream, and of course, add the podcast to your playlist. Enable alerts so you don't miss out on live stream podcast video recordings, and of course, new episodes that's going to be uploaded and dropped on the YouTube channel pages and streaming platforms and all that stuff right there. And of course, and of course, um, tell a friend to another friend. Spread the word. Word of mouth is important. And of course, share my Linktree link that says Linktree// excellent fun vibrant talks pod, along with the sports podcast right here. Yes, with your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, people you're cool with from work, and anywhere else where you meet new people. All right. Um, I want to suggest some YouTube channels, especially for those that's doing, like, especially those who are doing um coverage of New York Mets and their podcasters. I want to actually take the time to actually mention a few. Starting with Shades and Sons podcast, Till Mets Do His Part, Subway to Shade podcast, Empire State of Baseball podcast, Shea Station, Locked On Mets podcast with Ryan Finkelstein, Messed Up podcast, Believe the Mets, CPs, Mets and Knicks, Meet at the Apple podcast, Future in Flushing, Trevor May Baseball Mayday, the Sick podcast, Mets Magic with Jake Brown, Mets Weekly, the Mets Pod, Mets podcast, We Gotta Believe, the Call Up and MLB Prospect podcast, Top Bunk Sports, Cup of Mets, Subway Sports Talk, and of course the homie Wardy NYM, a show about the New York Mets. You could actually subscribe to his channel. And if you want to listen to the audio side on streaming platforms, Apple and of course Spotify as well. And I hope you are feeling better from your hernia situation. I hope you fully recover and feeling better mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Hold on. We also have Mets Fix, first time caller, long time listener. Filthy Sports by John Campier, which he covers football the most. Let's see. He Did This to Me podcast. Locked Up Sports, New York Sports Talk. No, hold on. Locked up Locked Up Sport. Hold on, Locked Up Sports. New York Sports. Um, New York Sports Talk. Um, New York Sports Talk. Mets Therapy. Digging Deep podcast. Everything New York. Actually, this is also football. This is also another sport right there. Everything New York Giants podcast. Let me see. Let me see if I missed out on anything. Let's see. Um, all right. Let me see. Let me see if I missed out on anything. Yes. Make sure you also subscribe to Locked On Sports New York YouTube channel, where there's Locked On Jets postcast. There's Locked On Locked On New York Giants. Locked On New York Mets postcast, and of course they recently added Locked On New York's New York Knicks postcast. So check that out as well. And also you can check out Angel Reese's podcast, Unapologetically Angel. Um, let me see what else. Oh, Just Baseball show for baseball fans. Met Central. Let me see. Let me see. Shea Station. I mentioned that. Met Stuff podcast. Let me see what else. Foul Territory. Um, Dead End Sports. There is Locked On Sports Today. Podcast streaming 24/7. Stories in the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, and NCAA. Let's see. Ringer NBA. Why am I a Mets fan? Locked On New York Giants. Um, New York Giants postcast. Um, I'm right podcast, talking baseball, MLB podcast. Um, the Rico Bronya podcast by Evan Roberts from WFAN, and you can subscribe to his YouTube channel on the WFAN YouTube channel. Of course, I want to also add in another person who is also at WFAN and sometimes on and SNY. Shouts to Dexter Henry, man. You know what I mean? He was on one of the episodes of Subway to Shea podcast. Shouts to him for shouting me out. I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. You can actually see him on the New York Sports, the New York's, the New York Post Sports, YouTube channel. Actually, yeah, he has a basketball, show called, um, New York Got Game. Be sure to check him out where he covers and gives you analysis about the New York Knicks and along with other stuff that he does. So be sure to subscribe to the New York the New York Post Sports YouTube channel page. All right. Let's see. NFL Good Morning Football. You can also check out um NFL Good Morning Football overtime on my 12 p.m. 12 p.m. 5 days a week. You can also check out their podcast as well on all streaming platforms. Um, and um, and yeah, that's it, man. If I forget any other sports channels, any other any other person that's covering the New York Mets, any person that's covering basketball or any other sports whatsoever, I will add that to the list in the future. So yeah, that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it for me, man. I'm your man, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator. Thank you very much for listening to the 81st episode of the Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. The sports platform, um, space for sports like MLB. There's sometimes a little basketball. I didn't cover basketball or football because the New York Giants already got knocked out because their season is over, which I'm probably not going to cover too much of that. I'm going to continue to cover some of the off-season talks and all that great stuff. So remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If you want something, you have to work hard because it's not going to be given to you on a fucking silver platter. And also find something that makes you happy and smile that you enjoy doing creatively, mentally, physically, and spiritually that gets you into your zone alongside with tunnel vision and along with some good ideas. All right. And also everybody's path is different when it comes to your journey. Follow your journey into what makes you happy, follow your instincts, follow your heart. And of course remember that it's not a matter of whether you win or lose, it's all about how you play the game. All right. I'll see y'all next time in the next episode where I remind y'all about the Queens baseball convention. So stay tuned for that. I'm out of here. Peace and one love. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your week and the rest of your night. So I'll be back with more new stuff for the New York Mets in the off season and all that great stuff whatsoever. And don't let any also let me point out something. Don't let anybody tell you that that you can't call it a podcast if you're doing it on YouTube. Don't let anybody tell you that. Because at the end of the day, a podcast is not just about audio recordings. It's also about video recordings too, which is also part of media. You know what I'm saying? And be yourself. Be yourself while you are recording behind the microphone. If you are planning to start a podcast, don't worry about the numbers either. Hold on 1 second. If you are planning to start a podcast whatsoever, please don't worry about the numbers of views, don't worry about the numbers of subscribers and all that stuff. It's a process. Believe in the process as you grow your episodes and everything else in between. Right. So don't let that get you down. Don't let that stress you out. And as far as downloads, don't worry about that either. Just have fun with your podcast and what you're creating and what you're talking about. Express yourself. Be yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? That's very important. You can't fake things, you know what I'm saying? You have to be authentic with your craft, with your show, and all that great stuff right there, man. That's my important tips for all the new podcasters out there. And yeah, good night, everybody. One love.